Well, Sam Teicher is a co-founder of Coral Vita, a company that grows corals to restore dying reefs. He joins me now from Freeport in the Bahamas. Hi, Sam. Thanks so much for being with us. How much hope do you hold out that this coral IVF technique could kind of be the magic bullet to save the wider population of coral around the world?
Well, thank you for having me and for covering the subject. It's great to see coral reefs in the news. It's definitely a very promising solution that needs to be scaled up and implemented. But as was alluded to by the report earlier on, the best thing to do for coral reefs is to stop killing them. There's no excuse for policy, industry, and media leaders not stepping up and solving climate change. Full stop. Together with overfishing and other destructive practices. Unfortunately, we're not seeing those happen quick enough, which requires coral restoration to even exist. I mean, I didn't grow up imagining I was going to be a coral farmer. It's kind of silly that coral restoration even needs to be a thing, but this is the world we're living in, and seeing things like the coral IVF, together with other restoration solutions, do offer a reason for optimism as we then look to scale both restoration and, as I said before, stop killing coral reefs to start off with.
Right, stop killing them to start off with. It's amazing, Sam, because there's a very perverse lesson to kind of be learned here in that solutions like yours and coral IVF actually kind of teach people that, we can do all the destruction we want, and these great scientists are going to find a way to engineer us out of it. So it's good that they've discovered this regrowth, but it's bad at the same time, is it not?
Yeah, it's an interesting balance to strike. I mean, there's certainly some politicians in particular in places like Australia and the United States who might think, oh, well, we can just restore our way out of this. And as someone whose business is coral reef restoration that's looking to get hired for coral reef restoration, I'd say, no, please don't hire us. Stop killing these reefs. There isn't any excuse for what we're doing. Half of the world's coral reefs are dead, and we're on track to lose over 90% within the next 30 years. Now, if we think about the same thing with deforestation, we can plant trees, we can do reforestation, and we should, and it's a good solution, but that doesn't mean we should just keep cutting down trees. And when we think about not just the ecological wonder of coral reefs, which is astounding, I think they're one of the most magnificent ecosystems on the planet, there's up to 1 billion people that rely on coral reefs for food and for jobs and for protection from storms. So as they die, this is really a crisis for humanity. This is about national economic interests, about public health. There are medicines that come from coral reef organisms. So it is an interesting thing where I'm trying to get more people, as are people like Dr. Harris and others, to invest more, spend more money on restoration because we have to, while at the same time saying, yes, and restore reefs as we stop killing them.
Because ideally, you want to go out of business. You don't want to have to do this. They should be growing naturally on their own. But in the meantime,
exactly.
I mean, if global warming continues at its rate, I mean, we haven't, the Paris Climate Accords went, basically into the trash. We haven't met the targets. Is this stuff scalable enough to reverse the bleaching and the severely declining population?
It's a great question. That's what we're working on. So coral farming has existed for about 2 decades or so at Coral Vita, and there are many other great people doing this around the world. We're specifically looking at, okay, put aside ecological wonder, they're very valuable. We need resorts, insurance companies, governments, corporate sponsors to pay to restore the reefs that we depend on, to unlock the funding that lets us grow millions and ultimately billions of corals rather than the thousands and tens of thousands that have previously been grown. So our first farm is here in the Bahamas. Ultimately, at Coral Vita, we want to do this around the world specifically to scale up reefs so we can ensure they're around for future generations as, again, we figure out how to stop killing them along the way. So it's a team effort, and we're excited to be here, and hopefully people will come plant corals with us or adopt corals because we need more money coming into this to scale it up.
Sam Teicher, thanks so much for being with us there in Freeport. We really appreciate it.